Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for the weekly SmackDown Event Center report. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings on WWE SmackDown every Friday night, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2401. That's right, we're in the 2400s now, and I hope you guys had a wonderful day. My day was pretty decent, relaxing. Got to watch a little bit of Super Sentai Gao Ranger, Haijuku Sentai Gao Ranger. That is the Japanese version of Power Rangers Wild Force, just to let you know. A little different. A little bit more extreme, a little different than Power Rangers Wild Force. We're not going to talk about Power Rangers. We're going to be talking about what happened. SmackDown was over 5 minutes ago, and holy cow, a lot of crazy stuff went down. And you can talk about crazy stuff, book ending. You talk about the beginning and end here. Let's talk about the beginning. It started off with everybody outside in the parking lot. There was a hit and run accident involving the MFTs. And the MFTs actually talking, I think B-Fab was there or as a witness or something like that. I don't know what the heck happened. So, and Kathy Kelly interviewed Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, who's running SmackDown while Nick Aldis is on vacation. And he says we're gonna get all the information and all that. Cody Rhodes interrupts and says, "Hey, I got the contract in hand. I know you got your hands full out here. We'll deal with it when." And Adam Pearce goes, "I'll see you inside and all that. I'll deal with this first." Cody says, "No problem." And then Alexa Bliss was talking to Charlotte Flair and said, "Hey, we didn't win," but Charlotte Flair said, "Hey, I talked to Anna Pearce. We got ourselves a tag team title shot at SummerSlam," and Alexa Bliss was kind of shocked that happened. So it led to a match with two athletically gifted ladies. You know, say what you want about Charlotte Flair, she is athletically gifted. I mean, that's, and remember, she's a former volleyball player, for goodness sakes. So Charlotte Flair went one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. I think it's a heck of a matchup between these two ladies. Both Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez, who will face each other next week on SmackDown, come to find out, which is that's going to be, you got two women's tag teams. You got the big athletic lady, and you got the small fiery ladies. So that, I thought that's going to be funny. You can see Roxanne Perez and Alexa Bliss, a little 5 feet of fury. If you stand them on top of each other, it'd be 10 feet of fury. Anyways, Roxanne Perez and Alexa Bliss got involved during the matchup, but Charlotte Flair ended up picking up the victory in that matchup. Meanwhile, the police was talking to Anna Pearce. They said, "We're looking to Jacob Fatu. He's a person of interest." He goes, "Follow me, we'll find him." So they find Fatu, and he says, "San Antonio's finest, well, I'd like to speak with you." And Fatu's kind of a little defiant, but he said, "You're a person of interest. Come with us, please." And so they escort him to the car. So I said, this reeks of Soul Sokoa pulling something. Meanwhile, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, who went through similar paths as far as being betrayed by friends and everything else, and everything else in between, and they're ready to face each other at SummerSlam for the championship. Now, a lot of people are dissing Jade Cargill, saying she's too green in the ring and all that. And I mean, I can understand, but these are two young ladies are still kind of new to the wrestling game, so to speak. It's like they're not totally new, like they started this month and they're already flying up the roster and all that. No, I think they're still trying to find a niche for each other. So far, Stratton's got really popular and all that, and it's going to be a heck of a matchup either way. So we'll see what happens there. I know a lot of people are hating on Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. I mean, I'm not defending them. I'm not a fan of Flair or Cargill either. But listen, I've always tried to respect talent. whether it be WWE or AEW, and but like I said, it's going to be a heck of a matchup at SummerSlam. Damian Priest was confronting Carmelo Hayes because he was looking for Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes in the ring facing Damian Priest. It's a Boston-New York rivalry, and it's not confined to just baseball. It's confined to wrestling too. It's also it just seeps on over to the wrestling department because you got Carmelo Hayes from Boston, Damian Priest from New York. So you got that, and these two guys went at it until Aleister Black came in, got involved. The match gets thrown out, but Priest wins by disqualification because he attacked Priest first, and then Black hits the Black Mass on Priest after the matchup, and then Hayes just looks at Aleister Black and decided to retreat. Smart move on Carmelo Hayes' part. Then the Wyatt Six cut a promo on becoming the tag team champions as they await one of four teams to face them in a tag team title match down the road. And then the MFTs, the My Family Trees, addresses the San Antonio crowd about Jacob Fatu. Solo's running his mouth, and then the police SUV pulls up back at the arena. Jimmy Uso waiting and says, "Yo, what's up?" And he hugs, and Jacob Fatu hugs him and says, "Listen, you are not the person of interest. You're innocent. You can go on and go about your own business." And Jacob Fatu's got a smile on his face, and the officer got a smile on his face. Because again, the officer has been had. And then Fatu comes out, and then Jimmy Uso was on the other side distracting Tonga, and then Jacob Fatu fought JC Mateo and Tonga Loa as Solo Sikoa decided to retreat. And then they were both using a chair, Uso and Fatu, on Mateo and Tonga Loa. And Adam Pearce comes out, "Well, you know what it's like to get locked up? Well, guess what? You're going to defend the United States title at SummerSlam against Jacob Fatu inside a steel cage." But meanwhile, come on now, officers. He's all yours, right? And they walk up, and then Solo Sikoa thinks that it was Jacob Fatu again. And they turn around and arrest Solo Sikoa. I'm like, genius. The police are geniuses on that one. Yeah. They weren't going to fall for Solo Sikoa's trick. I think Solo Sikoa caused the whole thing, if you're totally honest. Oh, boy. Solo Sikoa's going to get his butt kicked by Jacob Fatu. And I'll tell you one thing right now. I'll tell you what, I would not be one being Solo Sikoa inside a steel cage with the Samoan werewolf. Trust me on that one. It is going to be nuts. And Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Jelly Roll was guest host on the Jimmy Kimmel Show and had Randy Orton on as a guest. And they were talking about family and wrestling and all that. Drew McIntyre interrupts him. Says some insulting things. Randy Orton says, "Wrong time, wrong place, get out of here." The two fought, and then Logan Paul comes out, runs his mouth. This happened a couple of nights ago on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And then Jelly Roll grabs Jimmy Kimmel, Undertaker style. Wow! Not Jimmy Kimmel, Logan Paul. I've gotten crazy here. Grabs Logan Paul by the throat and chokeslammed that Beavis-looking butthead through a table. And I'm like, yes! And I know people are like, "Oh, no, celebrities." Listen, it's the Rock and Wrestling Connection that started the whole wrestling celebrity connection. If it had not been for that, the WWE would not be where it is today. A lot of people seem to be forgetting that. Listen, I'm a wrestling fan, okay, but I don't like to be called a purist. So to speak. I like and I like the celebrity connection with wrestling. It's like, cool. You never know. Some of our favorite celebrities could be wrestling fans. That's the crazy thing. Logan Paul, I understand. I can't stand Logan Paul. He's the only celebrity that I cannot stand. So-called celebrity I can't stand. I mean, Jelly Roll, I'm not a big fan of country music, but I think he's a cool guy, and he's an inspiration. And you got, Bad Bunny, who freaking respects the business so much, he gets it. And he works hard, and he puts in the work. I mean, Logan Paul, yeah, he decided to put in the work too. He's very athletically gifted. But like I said, he acts like a total Beavis-looking butthead. He acts like a jerk, and then Bryce Harper on crack, for goodness sakes. So, but then again, and that's an insult, and I hate to Bryce Harper. So my apologies for great Phillies legend and Bryce Harper. So that's what happens. So that sets up for the tag team match of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to face Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. So, and I heard that Jelly Roll is trying to put into work, which I respect. I think a lot of celebrities, a lot of people can, before I go on, a lot of celebrities, yeah, they're not, they can be wrestling fans, but they don't. It's like, we saw Jay Leno, remember World Wild back in the day? Jay Leno teamed up with Diamond Dallas Page against Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. I mean, how insane was that? You got Karl Malone that started this. Lawrence Taylor started the celebrities into the ring thing. Remember, Lawrence Taylor against Bam Bam Bigelow, WrestleMania 11. I mean, you're talking about a lot of things. A lot of things happen. Well, like I said before, if it had not been, Mr. T was the first celebrity actually to step into a ring when he teamed up with Hulk Hogan against Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. I mean, God rest the souls of Piper and Orndorff, and I'll tell you. But listen, there had not been some of these celebrities, the WWE would not be where it is today. I mean, well, we can give credit. People want to say we'll give credit to Hogan, we'll give credit. I give credit to Cyndi Lauper, or we can go further back and give credit to Andy Kaufman because he started that celebrity connection to wrestling going. When I saw the Man on the Moon, I remember Jim Carrey's character when he played Andy Kaufman. He sat right next to Jerry King Lawler. He said, and Jim, Andy Kaufman's like, I don't know. And then Jerry King Lawler said, this is a bright, shining moment for wrestling. Jerry King Lawler believed that Andy Kaufman put wrestling on the map and got more eyes on watching wrestling. And that was the main thing to me. And, whether it be Cyndi Lauper, feuding with Captain Lou Albano to start this whole thing, the Rock and Wrestling Connection, or, Andy Kaufman starting things up with Jerry King Lawler on the Dave Letterman show and all that. I say Kaufman and Lauper were, the catalysts that happened. So, anybody tries to diss celebrities, I can understand there's some talent out there that deserves some TV time. I get it. I understand it. But, like I said, sometimes you want more eyes on the product, more eyes on the product, so to get those guys some more TV time. That's what I think. You get the more eyes you get on the product, the more more people want to see. Oh, we want to see this person. We want to see that person. Get more eyes on that person. That's the big thing. That's why I look at it. I look at it from a business perspective. It's a little crazy. So where the heck was I? I was talking about Jelly Roll and all that. The lovely Stephanie McCare is not only an inter-brand battle, Raw versus SmackDown, also an international battle against Stephanie McCare representing the country of Chile, as Albert Fire representing the country of Scotland, battling the one-on-one, and the lovely Stephanie McCare wins the match. And Piper Niven tried her luck against Stephanie McCare, but McCare got outsmarted. Piper Niven got outsmarted by McCare. Meanwhile, Kathy Kelly was interviewing the Street Profits with B-Fab. And Street Profits, well, they said they'll bounce back and, about the Wyatt Six, they lost the belts to the Wyatt Six and all. But then DIY interrupts them saying they blew it, yada, 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 talking smack. Candice LeRae starts talking smack to them. I believe DIY and the Street Profits are going to feud, but this time around it will be a 6-person tag when you add B-Fab and Candice LeRae in the match. That's what happened. My phone fell down. Just give me a second here, folks. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not as nimble as I used to be. Anyways. Alright then. Then that led to the Fatal 4-Way matchup, number 1 contenders matchup. DIY versus Guns. That's Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Versus Fraxium. That's Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And Ray Phoenix and Andrade, who has been on a roll. Candice LeRae gets involved during the matchup, but in the end, Ray Phoenix and Andrade won the matchup, and they have the right to face the Wyatt Six. Has anybody forgotten about the Los Garza? They are the AAA Tag Team Champions. Why don't one of the other teams challenge them boys with those belts? I mean, remember, the WWE has acquired AAA back at WrestleMania. Come on now, people. Anybody do some thinking around here? Hello. Anyways, and no Julia. I'm sad. I like Julia. Julia Gulia. That's funny. Speaking of Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming soon. I think I'm going to watch that just to annoy the heck out of Romy. Just to talk about it or something like that. While you're watching Happy Madison movie, you know what? Calm down there, you humongous Michael Chiklis. You know, if Michael Chiklis and Jelly Roll had a kid, never mind. Okay. Sorry, Romy, I had to do it. I could not resist. You've been roasting me this whole time. About time I get you back on that one. Anyways. Oh, God. Anyways, cancel Ray. Alright, cancel Ray tries to get involved during the matchup, but it didn't work. Ray Phoenix and Andrade will challenge the YA6 for the belts. Possibly at SummerSlam? Maybe. I don't know. Meanwhile, Adam Pearce decided to oversee the contract signing. Cody Rhodes against John Cena. Cody Rhodes comes out first and addresses the San Antonio crowd. Says, my brother's a Texan. My father was a Texan. And everybody loved him and all that. And then John Cena comes out and decided that he's not going to fight at SummerSlam. What in the serious BS is this? And he says, I got a movie, I can't compete, yada, yada, yada. If I was in Cody Rhodes' shoes, I would have declared Cena to cut the BS, sign a stinking contract, you lose the title to me, then you can do your stupid little movie, son. John Cena, you're a weenie. Weenie Cena. You're a disgrace to the state of Massachusetts, John Cena. Your father was a jerk over at Showcase Pro Wrestling, suckering everybody, attacking Chris Blackheart, and aligning himself with Don Vega. Are you freaking kidding me, Cena? You're just as bad as your dad. What the heck is wrong with you, John Cena? You're going to back out of this? Oh, I'm going to do a movie now. Something? So you're the WWE champion. You're supposed to defend the title. Be a fighting champion, not be a weenie champion. And that's what you are, a weenie. John Cena is a total L7 weenie. Yeah, Weenie Cena. Not we need Cena, is Weenie Cena. Because he got a ton of weenie, because he has no set down there. It's like he took out he has no testicular fortitude. He wants to back out of his fight. And I'm like, oh, I can't compete and all that. You're the WWE champion, you moron. Yeah, you got your record. You broke Ric Flair's record. Come on. I can't respect John Cena being a weenie. I would say, quit being a weenie. You sign the contract, or you're gonna lose control of your face, John Cena. And you know what? Cody Rhodes had enough of Cena's BS. Grabs him, fights him, and then John Cena fights him off. And even Wade Barrett hates John Cena's guts. I say this. I would have. I'm sorry. Just like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you, weenie. John Cena is a total freaking weenie. Weenie Cena. Cena doesn't have. I'm not gonna fight. I'm sorry. Hear me out. No. You're gonna hear me out. You're gonna hear me out, John Cena. You're gonna defend that title. And you know what? If you don't, if I was in Cody Rhodes' shoes, sitting there listening to this, I would have grabbed the microphone and said, you better shut up, Cena, because these people are hating your guts. Either you sign the contract, or I'm going to make you sign it with your face. That's what I wanted to. And then two guys fought it out with Cody Rhodes in the end. Bashed Cena's brains in with the belt, puts him on the table, grabs the contract, goes to splash off the ropes, puts Cena to a table, grabs Cena's hand, puts the pen in Cena's hand, forces him to sign the contract, and he says it's not going to be just an ordinary matchup. It's going to be a street fight. And I'll tell you what, a street fight for the title, yes, sir. And you know what, John Cena? I hope he loses. John Cena, you're a disgrace to Westbury, Massachusetts. And I'll tell you what, I hope you lose, John Cena. And once you do, Cody Rhodes will be the champ again. All right. That's what I say. And John Cena, since Cody Rhodes made you sign the contract, you can suck it. That's all I'm going to say. John Cena, you suck. Cody Rhodes rules, baby. Like if I was going to fight John Cena in a matchup and he decides to back out, I said, listen here, you weenie. We're seeing through your BS. We see through your BS. Either you sign the contract, or once again, I will make you sign it with your face. and you can lose control of your faces. And I'm hoping that Cody Rhodes does that to Cena at SummerSlam. All right, so you can, so John Cena, you can stick it. That's all I'm gonna say. Traitor, weenie. Oh, I'm not gonna fight. I can't fight. They don't want me to fight. John Cena, you're a dork. All right, that's all the time we have on this show. And oh, you know what? You know what? I'm going to turn the jokes that have been played out on me. I'm going to turn it on you, John Cena. Why don't you go sleep in your race car bed and eat your lima beans and stick them straight up your butt, John Cena? That's what you can do with them. Forget me. It's on you, Cena. So, that's all the time we have on this show. I will see you in the next episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977. Tomorrow we'll play some Card Sharks. Money cards. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home, will you? That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.